He's one of those shrimps that kills you, though.
Yeah.
I saw on one of those National Geographic specials. There's a kind of
what
shrimp.
is that shrimp?
There's some kind of shrimp that kills you, bro. I don't know. It's
like
kind
one
of
of
deadly.
the biggest
But
strikes.
Zepeda is that kind of shrimp. He's a striker. I don't know what it's called. I'm not good on science. But
know
you guys,
exactly what
if
you're
you guys
talking
look it
about.
up, there's a shrimp that's like straight death.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Boxing Scene's Top Stories, only on ProBox TV, your boxing channel. Remember to download the ProBox TV app, where apps are available to get the fantastic insights of our world champions. We have Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi, and ESPN analyst Hall of Famer Tim Bradley here on Top Stories. Well, the #1 ranked lightweight contender by all 4 sanctioning bodies, William El Camarón Zepeda, is pounding on the door of every champion at 135 for a title, and yet no takers. In the meantime, he will look to stay sharp and undefeated when he faces former world champion Tevin Farmer on November 16th on the Latino Night fight card in Saudi Arabia. Now, Farmer, tricky southpaw with a slick defense that could be a test and maybe an indication of what to expect should Zepeda get a title shot against WBC champion Shakur Stevenson. All right, Tim, what are your thoughts on this bout here between Zepeda and Farmer and how it could lead to something against Stevenson, who is the opponent that most people are saying is next up for Zepeda after this one?
Yeah, I don't know if he's pounding on the door. I think he's looking for a side door, a side window. I mean, this fight right here, I think it's smart. I think Golden Boy is doing a good job. While, the dust settles, Shakur Stevenson is injured right now. Tank Davis is going in a different route. He doesn't want that. Not sure what's going to happen with, what's his name? Not Baranchik, but the other champion. I'm not sure what's happening with him right now. However, I like what he's doing. He's giving him a southpaw, a slick southpaw. Morataya, a young up-and-coming guy as well, top contender as well, with Top Rank, just fought him, and he went tooth and nails with him, man. It was extremely tough fight for him. Although he did get the victory, Tevin Farmer have shown that he's a tremendous boxer, and he can make anybody look bad, and so. Put him in the ring with this guy, Zepeda, I think it's a smart thing because Shakur Stevenson, if they have plans to fight Shakur Stevenson, which I don't believe they have plans to fight Shakur Stevenson. I think there's other champions out there that they'll do a lot better with than the Shakur Stevenson. However, this will be a good test to see if he's ready for that level of competition. Shakur Stevenson is a completely different animal of a southpaw. However, Tevin Farmer, man, he's tough as well, man, in his own way. Very elusive, tremendous boxer, superior ring IQ. It's going to be interesting to see how Zepeda, if he can track him down, if he can corner him just as well as he did with Maxie Hughes. Mm-hmm. See, Maxie Hughes was a slick boxer, but he was able to cut him off. Mm-hmm. He was able to cut him off and bang him down to the body and get him up out of there. Now, if he can do that with Tevin Farmer, man, that's going to say a lot about Zepeda and then people might give him a shot at beating Shakur Stevenson.
And by the way, Lomachenko is the IBF champion at lightweight there. So I think that was the other name. All right, Chris, what are your thoughts on this fight here between Zepeda and Farmer?
Champ, I agree with you, Tim. Everything you said, I think, is spot on in terms of setting up for future matchups. There's a lot of southpaws in this division, and you got Tevin Farmer, who's a smaller guy coming up from 130. He was a former 130-pound world champion, coming up, looked good in his last fight, like you said, against Morataya. And he's one of those guys. He's a spoiler, and there seems like they keep matching Zepeda up with spoilers, and he keeps blowing him out of the water. You mentioned Maxie Hughes. That guy's a spoiler. He almost spoiled George Kambosos, blows him out. He got matched with Cabrera, who almost spoiled Cruz, and Zepeda blows him out. So if Zepeda keeps to what he's been doing historically with these spoiler-type fighters, and he's able to blow out a guy like Tevin Farmer, that's a massive statement. And now that's I think a much more difficult task to do than to beat a Cabrera or a Maxie Hughes. But we'll see. I mean, Zepeda keeps, I think, overperforming. I've been more and more impressed with him the more I see of him. He's been keeping busy, which is good. He's not just a two-fisted destroyer, which I originally thought. And, he does have some savvy in there. He figures things out, especially with these guys that are usually hard to find. So, and he just sets a pace. He makes you fight his fight. If he can do that with a guy like Tevin Farmer, like you said, Tim, there's going to be people out there who be like, hey, man, that Shakur fight doesn't look so bad right now. But I don't know. I don't think they match up very well at all. And I actually think that Tevin is a very, very different southpaw than Shakur. in terms of, stylistically, if you really look the way they fight. Yeah, they're both southpaw. Yeah, they're both difficult to hit, but very, very different styles in terms of what they do from their southpaw position. But listen, I like what Zepeda's been doing. They're keeping him busy. They're keeping him active. He's getting on this card where there's going to be a lot of eyes. And if he can do what he's been doing, that's a big statement.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off both of you guys to a degree, right? I mean, I think the thinking here with getting Farmer is for the fact that there are a lot of southpaws in the trajectory of a Zepeda if he wants to climb this weight class. I think at least 3 of the 4 champions are southpaws.
Loma, and Tank are all southpaws.
All southpaws. So, I mean, you're going to have to get through some good southpaws if you want to win a world championship. And I think that's what the thinking process is behind Zepeda taking Farmer on. First thing first, though, I think Farmer, and Chim, I'm going to piggyback off what you said about he's a different level than Cabrera and from Hughes. And for starters, he's an ex-world champion. Cabrera and Hughes had not been world champions. Right, so there's that. Also with Farmer, remember, he started out his career, nobody was really taking care of him, and so he's been through the ringer as far as he had to earn his world championship by sort of maturing on the job. He took some early losses. I think they matched him with Jose Pedraza, like in his first 10 fights,
Yeah, they did.
And he had like no amateur career, so Farmer has come up the ladder the old-fashioned tough way, man, and actually became a world champion doing it, which is super, super impressive. So I think a guy like that also has a lot of character, and he shows that in the ring. So it's not just slickness and craftiness. There's a lot of character, and that explains why he was able to make Murataya also look bad, because he's not quite ready to go away yet. It's built in him to have that kind of character, even if he's looked at as the opponent, right? So I think if Zepeda can blow away Farmer, it's a super statement, because I don't think Farmer's showing up just for a payday. Farmer still shows up to win. It's how he's built. It's the character that he has. He's not spineless. He has a strong backbone. And when he shows up in the ring, he shows up to fight. So I like this fight because I think it could possibly show us any deficiencies in Zepeda's style. Yeah, he's a bit more than a two-piston destroyer, but can he be more against a guy with the craftiness and character of a Tevin Farmer? And that's why this fight becomes really interesting. You expect Zepeda to win. You expect Farmer to be on the other end of his prime. But at the same time, you don't expect it to be as much of a walkthrough as Zepeda's been doing against these other guys. If he is able to blow right through Farmer the way he's been able to go through these other guys, then it makes it a more profound statement, and you really want to see him against the elite of the weight class, the champions of the weight class. And you know what, you guys, we started out this discussion by saying he's pounding on the door. He's pounding on the door for the title shots. He's a mandatory in all four weight classes, so the title shots should be around the corner soon, regardless if he keeps winning. Thank goodness he's not at 168 though, because if we told him to hold his breath, he might turn blue. Thank goodness he's at lightweight.
How the hell you go, Paulie?
Mandatory. We're talking about mandatories.
35 to fucking Canelo.
He's got to find a way to dig it in there. So he's got to find a way.
And this is a guy who is kicking the door in for title shots, just like there's a guy at 168 kicking the door in for title shots. We're not gonna have to see Zepeda move up to 140 to get a title shot, because I think the mandatories will be enforced at this weight class. Because you know what? It's not at the weight class where they make you turn blue. If you hold your breath at the other weight class, you're going to turn blue. Here, I think Zepeda is not that far away from getting a title shot.
Man, this can backfire. This can backfire. I know what Golden Boy is trying to do. They're trying to get him ready. But, and Baranchik is another title holder, I believe, too. Yeah. But Farmer is tricky, man. And he
that's why it's a really interesting fight, champ. It's a really interesting fight.
This dude, he can win. He can win this fight. I can see it. I mean, it's not hard to miss.
I ain't just got it out.
Hard to miss.
I ain't just got it out for Canelo. Remember that Gervonta Davis didn't fight Tevin Farmer at 130. Remember, let's not forget that part too, okay?
Hello. Yeah, you're right about that. I remember that. So.
And now there's talk of Lamont Roach and Tank Davis. There's talk of that fight happening there. The first thing I thought when I heard Tank Davis and Lamont Roach was like, what about Zepeda? Where's his title shot there? So it should be interesting to see what happens between, Zepeda and Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer, former IBF super featherweight champion. So as you guys mentioned, a difficult task for the undefeated man who, they call him Camarón, which means the shrimp, but he certainly is not when it comes to what he's done so far in the ring. The last 4 fights for Zepeda, all by knockout, and the farther that any one of those fights has gone is 6 rounds.
He's one of those shrimps that kills you, though.
Yeah.
I saw one of those National Geographic specials. There's
Yeah,
a kind of
what is
shrimp.
that shrimp?
There's some kind of shrimp that kills you, bro. I don't know.
Dude,
It's
like
kind
one
of
of the
deadly.
biggest
But
strikes.
Zepeda is that kind of shrimp. He's a striker. I don't know what it's called. I'm not good on science.
I
But
know
you guys,
exactly what
if
you're
you guys
talking
look it
about.
up, there's a shrimp that's like straight death. like straight, not like Cat Williams way death like you don't hear shit. I'm talking about death like you die. All right,
You get hit by it.
Yeah, Zepeda's that kind of shrimp. Come on.
Def, I got stuff to do today. Okay, I'm sorry. There's my Cat Williams impression. Sorry about that.
That was pretty good, George.
Well, we'll see what happens. November 16th, Zepeda versus Tevin Farmer should be a great fight on that Latino night card in Saudi Arabia. And, of course, all the fallout from that and the reaction results, we'll have it here on Top Stories. Don't forget, scan the QR code, like and subscribe, and leave comments on our YouTube channel. We'd like to remind you it's going to be a busy couple of weeks in the later half of October, because October 16th, we'll have the Best Live Fight Series Wednesday Night Fights. Then 3 days later, Tim Tszyu goes for the IBF Super Welterweight title against Bakram Murtazaliev. You can see that on Prime Video, October 19th from Orlando. And then a couple weeks after that, ProBox TV is going overseas to Europe. November 1st, Belfast, Northern Ireland. Pedro McCrory, will be on the card for that one. That should be a good one. You can go to Northern Ireland, watch it live, or better yet, go on the YouTube channel and the app as well to see the November 1st card from Belfast, Northern Ireland. I'm George DeMatteis. This is Boxing Scene's Top Stories.
Wednesday Night Fights.
Dynamite action on Wednesday Night Fights every other Wednesday on your boxing channel.
Coming up on your next Wednesday Night Fights, October 16th. Chris, Primetime Colbert, and Omar Super Salcido step into the ring for what is sure to be a barn burner. Live from the ProBox Event Center in Plant City. Get your tickets at ProBoxTV.com or take your chances at the door. Wednesday Night Fights.
For more ProBox TV, scan the QR code on the screen or go to the App Store and Google Play. ProBox TV, your boxing channel.